After watching certain YouTubers try the Cattleman only challenge, I decided I wanted to try this challenge out myself. The one thing I wanted to add is that I can't clean my gun. Dirty guns have been known to make your guns aim worse, and I want to see if I can finish the main story with it. I had low expectations for this challenge, but I was willing to try it out and see where this challenge would take me. The first mission wasn't that challenging. It's pretty easy to kill the enemies, and I have a clean gun, so the aiming and projection is at its best. Second mission, I thought it was going to be a challenge because you have to pick the sawed-off shotgun in order to progress, so I ended up failing the mission at first, but luckily I could spawn ahead and still have my revolver and killing the wolves with it. In mission 3, our task is to sneak into an area without alerting the enemies, so I fired off my gun to speed up the process. I had one moment where I almost died, but I ran as far away from combat and recovered my health. My aim was absolute shit for the rest of the mission, but luckily everyone else's aim was on point. In the next mission, I have to go with Javier and hunt deer. It turns out you can use the revolver to complete the mission, which was a relief for this challenge. In the mission where we robbed the train, I faced challenges when we first jumped on the train, mainly because I didn't take cover, but the rest of the mission was a piece of cake. Later on, me and John have to visit the O'Driscoll camp to handle a little business. I had the option to sneak in at first, but I said to hell with it and went in guns blazing, killing every O'Driscoll. I wanted to make my revolver dirtier, so I learned the best way to do this was to swim in water, and as I was doing that I forgot that my stamina was almost depleted, so I hurried to shore and luckily made it in time. Me and Javier teamed up again to rescue Sean. Javier tells me to sneak kill a guard with my knife, so I pulled out my gun and shot them both. After this, me and Javier had to take out the rest of the enemies. I was quite surprised at how much range the revolver had, even when it's almost low on cleanliness. After saving Sean, I then had to save our good, trustworthy, loyal friend who will not backstab us in the final chapter, Micah. I took the approach of shooting the guards, then finding the key and releasing him. As we were fighting our way out of Strawberry, there were moments where my aim was terrible, but luckily I had Deadeye, which helped. I had the simple job of sneaking in and getting a wagon for John, but I was spotted quickly and it went downhill from there.
Hiding your face like that's a good way. Find your
I respawned near the area and got the wagon, only to crash it later. In the mission where we robbed the train, I was forced to use a rifle to kill a person. Also, my damage was absolute crap when I got to use a revolver. Me and Micah had to stop this caravan and I couldn't stop it because my aim in riding a horse were not cooperating, and the caravan eventually crashed off a cliff. After completing that mission, later on we have to kill the henchman to leave Valentine, and in the moment I became a badass. Though my gun was dirty, I completed the mission with the combination of good aim and Deadeye. At the start of chapter 3, I have to catch these guys and bring them back, which is pretty simple. I was not quick enough to block this guy charging at me, and after beating him up, he fell off and I fell off with him. Me and the gang had a hideout at this farm till the coast was clear, only to get caught and have to fight people from 3 different spots. This was one of the most challenging spots and I almost died, but luckily we left because of the fire. Me and Hosea had to deliver drinks to different locations where I accidentally killed 2 people.
Look, these are 2 big old plantation houses, and all I and how hot they were, especially after that bloodbath in Val. What are you doing?
After arriving at the second destination and serving liquor, we had a shootout from a rivalry gang, and as we were leaving the area we had to shoot some more people, and me and Hosea almost got away until some more gang members came out and finished me off. Me and Lenny had to clear out this area and find dynamite, and at first I had to use a sniper rifle, but since this challenge is a revolver only challenge, I improvised. Me and Charles had to find these bounty hunters, and once we found them, I took the first one out with ease, but the second hunter couldn't align with my bullets and it took longer to kill him. After the death of Sean, I hid behind a barrel to only get shot from multiple directions. I took some health cure and was ready to fight on. I was feeling brave and walked out ready to rip and tear and was killed in a short amount of time. Hashtag got humbled. Me and John had to clear out this house that the gang will be staying in, and I thought it was funny how I shot this guy multiple times and then he started running at me like that was going to save him. When we first arrived in Saint Denis, the first mission I did was chasing the kid that stole my pouch, which reminded me how annoying this mission was. In the mission where we robbed the boat, we have to shoot our way out, but I didn't have my Cattleman on me, so I had to use a different revolver. The gang had to defend the house from intruders, and after regrouping with Sadie and taking Deadeye tonics, I was a one-man army. Me, Dutch, and Lenny tried to rob this bank, and it went wrong, of course, so we had to shoot our way out, which wasn't that hard. At the end, Dutch throws the dynamite, and I have to shoot it, which I missed, but luckily it exploded anyways. Pretty much for the rest of chapter 4 it was easy. As long as I had health cure and Deadeye tonics, killing people was no problem. I knew going into chapter 5 that it was going to be tough because I had limited ammo and no way to resupply, so I had to do the best I can with what I got. After escaping from the chains and killing the guards, I had to kill some more guards at this camp, but only with a low amount of ammo. Missing shots made me worried, but with the help of the gang and the resistance, I made it through the first mission. After getting hit by a poison dart, I have to help this guy free his people by sneaking past the guards and killing the guards towards the end. The next mission had me and Dutch saving Javier, and this was the moment that really tested my ammo longevity. What made this part worse was that I was missing shots, and when it came to the last part, I ran out of ammo, so I had to use a rifle to kill the rest of the guards. I had to defend this fort from an army, and at the start, I could kill the people walking across the bridge, but not the people on the beach. We had to charge down and kill some people, and I got some more ammo from the people that died. We had to fend off the people reaching the beach, then go back up and use the big gun to kill the warship. In the next mission, we had to kill the captain. I tried taking a shortcut to see if I could enter the house where he's located, but I couldn't before killing off the guards first. After having a standoff and the captain running away, we have to chase him while killing off the remaining guards. At the start of the second part, I was low on ammo and eventually ran out, so I thought I could bum rush my way to the cannon, but I died. When I spawned back, I had way more ammo than before and was able to kill the guards, then kill the captain. I returned to the mansion and killed off some intruders. I then went to where the gang was relocated and had to deal with the Pinkertons. After killing a few people, I then had to use the Gatling gun to kill the rest of them. Me and Charles had to find a new place to relocate and ended up finding two guys lurking around. We were supposed to trail these people, but I shot them and continued to the destination. Instead of waiting on Charles to suggest whether we should charge in there, I went ahead and started killing people. Me and this guy, who I cannot remember his name, have to fly over the fields and look for John. After getting shot, we head over to where Sadie's at, and it turns out she's in a little bit of a tussle. I thought this part was going to be challenging, but with Deadeye it was easy. Me and Sadie teamed up again to free John from prison. I used a sniper rifle to shoot the guards because that was part of the game. And once we realized we didn't find John, we held the guard at gunpoint and went straight to the gate to make a request for John. After finding John, we then had to escape. I made it across the bridge with a lot of my health gone, hid behind some cover, and took a health tonic. After that, we had to cross the fields and shoot more guards. We then had to make it to the boat, and the guards were still hitting me from far away. After getting on the boat, I had to shoot the guards, and finally we made it back and finished the mission. Me and Bill had to steal this caravan, and I'm supposed to use a sniper rifle, but I was able to use the cattleman and shot one of the guards from a distance. After killing the rest of them, me and Bill had to take it back to Micah, but we were attacked by some unwelcome company. Me, Sadie, and Dutch have to disguise ourselves in order to watch the hanging of the O'Driscoll leader. After killing the sniper, I have to shoot the gang members in order to ensure the safety of Dutch and Sadie. Me and Dutch help Eagle Flies to ambush some enemies of his, but it turns out to be the army, so we get into this big shootout, and me and Dutch try to escape. At one point, instead of waiting for Dutch, I just ran down to start the sequence event where we have to jump off the cliff just to not waste more time. Me and Charles help Rainsfall get his son back by sneaking into this fort. I tried to see if I could use a Cattleman Revolver at the start, but I failed the mission. I had to use the bow to kill the guards both outside and inside. Then once we freed Eagle Flies, I pulled out the Cattleman to finish the job. As we were on the canoes, I decided to not shoot the guards, and in return they lit me up with bullets. The gang teamed up to fight the army with Eagle Flies one more time. As we were moving down the area, there was one point where I saw what looked to be an invisible shooter. I ended up running into it and instantly died. Luckily, the second time it didn't occur. After killing the Gatling gun guy, All we had to do was kill the rest of the men, but I forgot that I needed to help an Indian guy named Peta, and once he died, I had to restart from the checkpoint. In the last mission, I helped Sadie try to free Abigail, and after Sadie failed to retrieve her, I had to go through an army of men to get to her. Instead of shooting everybody, I decided I had enough health tonics to get through them, so I crossed my finger and ran as fast as I could to the building. After learning that Michael was the rat, I headed back to camp to deal with the traitors. The Pinkertons showed up, so I immediately went to the cave, and me and John escaped from there. After our horses got shot and died, we raced up the mountain, and I waited behind to kill any men coming up so that John could escape. Michael jumps out of nowhere, and me and him get into a brawl. After both of us fall over, I try to grab the pistol, but Dutch stops me. I ended up getting the bad ending, where I got shot with the pistol, which is sad, but at least I completed the main story.